Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. And in this one, we're going to be going over a post that Riot actually just released not too long ago, talking about the Volibear rework. Now, they did a similar thing with Fiddlesticks before, where they showed actually his ultimate. That was the first time we saw his ultimate and stuff. They're doing the same thing with Volibear. So this is actually going to more or less show one of his abilities. I think it was his E ability. It's going to show a lot of cool stuff and just a lot of new information about the Volibear rework, which I think a lot of us are very excited for, myself included, of course. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, especially if you're excited. But let's just get this party started. You can see it's a pretty extensive post, right? It's going to show a lot of in-game stuff. It's going to show a lot of abilities and even show, of course, his E ability. And wow, check, look at this, a little, ooh, right? That looks pretty cool, but let's figure out exactly what that means. So let's go over this post together. Let's read through it and let's see what Riot has in store. So here to talk about a little bit of an intro. So since Volibear isn't too far away, okay, it's exciting. We've decided to keep in-game footage under the veil of the storm and will instead be diving deep into our progress on his VFX, SFX, VO, so visual effects, sound effects, voiceover, I believe, and gameplay design, plus an early look at his reimagined Northern Storm skin. All right, so let's take a look. Ooh, dude, he looks sick. Ooh, he looks sick. So if you jump into new stuff, here's a quick recap. So this is all a recap. So this is stuff that we already supposedly know, right? So we'll go over the stuff that they highlighted in bold, right? These are the informations that they have talked about prior to. So essentially what's going to happen is people in the lore think that the Volibear should be, or based on the lore, should look very specific to, you know, what he's depicted as in the lore, which initially Riot's concept art wasn't that, right? And then Riot is like, you know what, that makes sense, but what we'll do is this. So he's gonna look, I think, still something like this, right? I think he's still gonna look something like this. But then they're also gonna release his first skin, which you can see in the bold here. The first skin, which will have that Eldritch horror look to a Volibear. But the best thing is that if you own Volibear, you will get that skin for free, as long as you own Volibear before he comes out on the patch, whichever patch he comes out. So make sure you own him, guys. Very important. You get a little free skin. That's a pretty big plus, right? So this is some artwork already of how he looks like, which is wonderful. But this right here is going to be the new stuff. By the way, we got a little potential leak, which I think I talked about before, but we'll go over it again on his abilities. Anyways, going in, let's take a look, see what do we have here for the new stuff. So to kick things off, so I'm talking a little bit fast, I'm excited. To kick things off, here's a sneak peek of Volibear's current in-game model. And let me tell you from experience, it's terrifying to see this guy running at you in-game. Look, he looks pretty sick. Look at this, actually. That looks nice. That's his in-game model right there. Yo, real talk though, like, that looks really good. That looks really, really clean. I really like that a lot, actually. That looks wonderful. Seriously, that looks so sexy. A little too sexy. All right, moving on. Shock and awe. So Mr. Lutzberg, gameplay designer. Relentless. This is the one word that drove my inspiration as we started to work on Volibear's abilities. My hope is that each one feels savage, unforgiving, and inevitable. Volibear's role sits somewhere between a Juggernaut and a Vanguard. So Juggernaut is and a Vanguard. Vanguard's like more of an initiation tank, and a Juggernaut is like, I think it's like a Darius or something like that, allowing him to dive and disrupt teamfights while ramping up his own threat level over time. Okay. So he's able to ramp up his own threat level over time. That's a little bit of a hint to you know, the overall kits. While he doesn't have the perma unstoppability and slow conversion we originally tested, there's still no escape from Volibear. He will catch you, and only death can stop him. So that actually makes me think instantly that it's going to be something maybe like his ultimate will be maybe something like a Vi ultimate, right? Where it's just, you literally can't stop it for the most part. So just what are these abilities? We hope you'll be pleased to learn that most of them will feel like a modern take on his live kit. He still runs on all fours and locks down a single target. He still has a targeted bites, only this time it's both his opener and his finisher. So it seems like his ability where he bites them, right now it's only a finisher, right? You do a bunch of damage, and after like 3 or something like that auto attacks, you can bite them, right, for like a finisher attack. But now it seems like you can use his, in that case, it's his W, to do as an opener. Maybe that kind of, you know, sets them up for a bleed or something like that, or sets them off from some kind of wound. And then you can auto attack them, and then your auto attacks maybe like increases the wound and whatnot, and then the finisher just goes all in. You know, maybe put some salt inside that wound and everything. That'd be pretty cool. He still has a ramping attack speed and chain lightning. Only now it lasts for as long as he remains in combat. So that's kind of busted, because currently his ultimate is the chain lightning, but now I don't think it's going to be his ultimate anymore. But it also lasts while he's in combat, which is pretty strong. We've worked hard to bring in more skill expression to Volibear's kit, which right now it isn't, yes. which should make both fighting as and against more satisfying. Our biggest innovations came from his E and his ultimates. With the Savage Bear angle locked, we really want to push his fantasy as the Freljordian God of Storms. These abilities will grant Volibear several new utility tools that he has never had before. Okay, that's pretty cool. And aim to give players more to master over time. So it seems like his Q and W will be very similar. So they already talked about it, right? So his Q is going to be very similar to where it's still going to be some ability that will chase after you one way or another. But apparently in this case, he will catch you. So it's maybe like a targeted dash on a champion, maybe like a mini Warwick ultimate, but on a basic ability. We have his W here, which talks about, right, similar to his current W, but it's now an opener and a finisher. So that's some, you know, reveal to the abilities. And it seems like the E and R are going to be essentially new abilities as well. So we're pulling out all the stops for Volibear's ultimate, and we hope you won't find it too shocking. Ooh, I bet you he does like some massive like thunderstorm channel, and just everything around him just goes. That'd be sick. Anyways, lightning strikes. While we aren't quite ready to reveal what Volibear's E does, we are going to show you what it looks like through its visual effects. So the first thing you'll see is the Freljordian rune carving its way through the earth. This appears to be something known as the erosion map. Now this might not look like much aside from, I want to open this up here, from the rainbow puke, but when it's separated into respective channels, it looks more clear. So it's kind of like this right here, if you guys can maybe see me zoom out a little bit. So it looks something like this for you guys to see. Right, so you have the color map, you have the alpha map, you have the erosion map. Apparently, if you put them all together, I mean, we already saw it at the end result very briefly. Basically, the way these channels work is that anything shown in black is invisible. Because this is talking about essentially how this, I mean, if you guys care about this stuff, this is like, you know, specifically for the visual effects, if you're into that. The post is here. I'll link it below as well. You guys can check it out. So that it looks cool though. I mean, we'll take a look at it out of respect for the hard work, right? So you have this, and this is like the animation of it. You have the little smoke and fog and, you know, thunder clouds, if you will, which look like this one animated, I guess, which looks really, really cool. And then you have the actual lightning strikes. Ooh, that looks so sick, actually. That looks really cool, right? And this is, I love it because it's actually making him like an actual thunder god, which is what it doesn't feel like he's a thunder god. It just feels like he's a bear that happens to have a little bit of lightning coming out of him here and there. But I want to see like actual thunder abilities coming out. You know, that's what I want to see. And this is how it looks like even more. That looks so sick, actually. Look at this, boys and girls. Tell me what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? Yo, honestly, if you're a Volibear main, man, this is something to be excited about. I think they're really going super ham on this. Right? Then we have the shockwave that lets us know the storm has struck. This is achieved by spawning in arches of a wind and shooting them out in a radial direction as they change scale to fit the circle shape. Circle shape? There's a circle shape? I'm assuming the shape is defined. Like it's always the same shape, right? Yeah, it should be the same shape all the time. Okay. And then after the shockwave flash, there's a glowing crater that's left behind. This uses the same erosion techniques. Okay, so that looks like that. And you put it all together, and this is how the E ability looks like. So we don't know what it does exactly. I mean, I have the leak, which will, excuse me, we'll go over right now, but dude, that looks so sick. That's the E ability. I wonder if he has to be in there, or is it like a AoE kind of target somewhere? Like you can be somewhere around the area, but you like call down a thunder strike in a specific spot. Maybe that's what that is. That could be pretty cool too. With every champion, we want to find a unique and sound PAL that makes him instantly recognizable. VGUs are always a fun challenge because we need to update something that's existed for years while staying faithful to what it was before. I definitely wanted to keep some of Volibear's key pillars, so this is essentially his sound, within his kits, such as the God of Storms, the Primal Power, and most importantly, the Ferocious Bear. I wanted it to sound like this really pissed off lightning bear, or like this pissed off lightning bear is running at you and will catch you, to make him feel more primal and aggressive. Ooh, so there's some war jump elements and avalanches. Ooh, that's actually pretty sick. So it's gonna sound cool. For his Q impact, I use the drum. Okay, so yeah, there's a little bit more information here. Right? Pretty cool, pretty cool. And then this is one of his skins, Arctic Skin Ops. With champion updates, we're always looking for ways to make older skins and make them really special. So this is gonna be the Arctic Ops skin line for the bear and electricity. Quick little thing, if you guys can't see it well enough. There you go, right there. Looks pretty sick. This is actually looking pretty sick. Look at this. Boys and girls, what do you guys think? Honestly. Okay, was that the same post again? Outro. So that's about all for we have for Volibear today. Be on the lookouts. There's a stream storm fast approaching. Huddle up in the failure as we await its landfall. You'll hear more soon. And one last thing, the Eldritch Horror Volibear skin, which will be given out for free, has now an official name, which is called the 1000 Pierced Volibear. And we'll leave you with a small tease of its horrifying splash art. This is a little bit of a tease of a splash art, boys and girls. This is a splash art, like a little small portion of it. So that's someone obviously looking up, and that's Volibear up there, looking all menacing. That's his leg, I think, right there. That's his leg. I think that's one of his claws. Holy shit. So this is the leak we'll go over very quickly, by the way. So we have this passive. Call of Thunder. When auto-attacking an enemy continuously, Volibear will get a chain lightning auto-attack. Volibear has a similar effect to Rumble's Overheat called Overcharge. So pretty much what they said. So we know the passive... Oh, sorry, the Q and EW should be similar. So Q is the same, but can be controlled like Luna's W or Scion's ult, but easier to control and will become unstoppable. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Don't forget, this leak was way before this post. Keep that in mind. The W is Volibear claws at you 2 times with his claws and bites you for the third attack, similar to Mord ult. The old Mord Q, but mixed with Set's Q. The third bite will deal true damage when overcharged, which kind of makes sense. E is the same, but when overcharged, it will deal more damage. What's his current E? I forgot. His current E is... I forgot what his current E is. God damn it. And then his ultimate is Volibear calls a huge storm cloud and will electrocute enemies Volibear is attacking and will immediately get overcharged when cast. Damn, that looks sick. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me, boys and girls. But either way, that's the post. That's a lot of new information. We essentially have a bunch of information about his abilities. Some of them even got more or less revealed for the most part. Or at least we have a very good idea as to what they do. We have this leak, which actually makes sense because the passive Q and W literally makes sense and adds with what they've said so far here with his passive QW, and the leak was before this, which was something important to remember. But yeah, that's about it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Peace.